Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. I'm here with another lovely short YouTube practice for you. So this flow is going to be all about the toes. You'll see what I mean when I get into it. And this is going to be a short but strong practice. So we're going to be getting a little bit fiery. But we are also going to be working into coming up on the toes, so a little bit of balance and strength going on there as well. So as always, grab any props and if coming up on the toes isn't your thing, then you don't have to. So we will get started today standing up on our mat. So come to the top of your mat in Tadasana, and we'll ground into the class initially. So bring your hands to your side, so to the side of your body, and either close off the eyes or you can take a steady gaze somewhere out in front of you. And let your shoulder blades run down your back. And start to notice your in-breaths and your out-breaths. Notice any sensations in the body, any tingling through the hands. And I invite you to start to take a gentle sway here. So swaying back and forth in your Tadasana. So really using the grounding of the feet to rock yourself back and forth. This might feel like it's really pushing you off balance, or this could feel quite comforting place to be. Just become aware of how your body, your mind reacts to this. Returning to a space of non-judgment on ourselves. And of course, the more we can learn to let go of judgment on ourselves, the more we can let go of judgment on others too. And then come back to stillness in your Tadasana, and now see how it feels to take a gentle sway from side to side. So again, this movement's really initiating from the feet upwards. So we're transferring the weight very subtly through the feet. And start to open the eyes now if you have them closed. And we're going to reach this left arm up towards the left ear, lifting up and out of the waist first, and then slide this right hand down the right leg. So we're coming over into a stretch so that you can see me here. I will just face towards you. So we're stretching over to the right and the left side body's opening up. But this could be really subtle. This could be looking more like this up here. It's not about how deep you're coming into the stretch. It's about opening and working with your body and the body that you're in today. We're just not always going to behave the same way, as I'm sure that you know. Different days, your body will feel very different. That's okay. We're honouring that. And come up from the stretch. We'll start to come over on the other side. So sweep your right hand up towards your right ear, and then lower this left hand. Slide this left hand down the left thigh and come into a standing stretch here. So there's some engagement already going on through the core, through the obliques. But we're trying not to collapse. We're trying to come from a place of space on the inhale and then come into this opening, this stretch. Right side body opening up now. And come back to your Tadasana. And Now I'm going to start working up onto the toes. So bring your heels away from the mat and start to see if you can find your balance here. Now finding a drishti or a gazing point. Taking a deep inhale and exhale here. And start to bring your arms out to the side. Exhale, bring them back down. So staying up on the toes. So inhale, bring the arms up about shoulder height. And then exhale, so open down. Just like we're a little flying bird or something. Woo, see if you lose your focus. You send your gaze down, and your body may well follow. So find that focus. If you're falling out, wobbling all over the place, have fun with it. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale down. Inhale, float. Exhale down. Release the heels. Take a little shake out here. Shake it out. Come back to your Tadasana. So feet are roughly hip width apart. Come back up on the toes. Bring the arms out in front of you this time. And we're going to start to lower, really slowly lowering those hips down. And when you come about halfway down, so we're going to pause here in a little Utkatasana up on our toes. This is really strong through the glutes, through the legs. You can have your arms out in front, or you can have them by your ears. Bring the belly away from the thighs. If you need to bring your heels down here, of course you can. But see if you can challenge yourself a little bit today with coming up on the toes. Especially if this is something that does really make you feel uncomfortable because you're wobbling around. You can see I'm wobbling around too. Maybe just challenge yourself to have a little bit of fun with it. Give it a go. Exhale, you can release the heels down and come straight into a forward fold here. So soften the knees as much as you need to. Feet are flat. And hang down here in your forward fold. You can bring the hands to the elbows if that feels good too. Let your head and your neck hang heavy. And take any movement that feels good. Bringing the weight through the balls of the feet. And then slowly starting to peel the body up. Take as much softness through the legs here as you need to. Peel your way back up to that Tadasana mountain pose. Head and neck coming last. And then grounding through the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, back down into your forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Hands could be coming to the thighs, the shins, maybe the mat. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step back, meet in a plank position, or you can drop the knees down straight away if you prefer. And we're going to push through the toes here and keep the core really strong and really strong through your inner line of energy in the body. And we're going to, as we push through the toes, bring the shoulders forward slightly. So it's going to look like this. And back. So we're going to work through this until we get to 5. So 1 and back. 2 and back. 3 and back. 4 and back. 5 and back. Well done. Exhale, release the knees down to the mat And lower the rest of your body down to the floor. Plant the hands on the mat. Inhale, roll your shoulders, lift your chest, cobra. Engage and activate the lower body. You could be coming into a high cobra here. You could be coming in a lovely low cobra. Come to where feels right for you. Exhale, melt the chest back down. Round through the hands. Lifting the body up either through tabletop position or coming back into your downward facing dog on your exhale. Hips are going up to the sky. Finding length through the spine. Hips coming away from the ribs, gaze coming between the knees. Pressing the mat away from you with your hands. And on your next inhale, come to your toes and step this left foot through between the hands and sweep the arms up to the sky for high lunge. Now, in your high lunge, you can either stay here or option, bring a little power into it. Come up onto that front foot, coming up onto the toes. This is a really strong place to be, so no worries. If you want to bring that heel down, that's absolutely fine. Keep inhaling, lifting up and out of the waist. Lengthening through the back leg. And release the front heel down. Bring your right heel to the mat and make your way into your warrior two. So the side of the right foot's roughly in line with the side of the mat. Fingertips are reaching away, relax through the shoulders and send your gaze over the left fingertips. And from here, we're going to come into a wide leg position, pointing those toes out. And bring your hands to your hips now. And then start to soften through the knees. So we're coming into our goddess. So really opening through the hips. Remember that this is a short, powerful flow. So we've come, really straight into this practice. So just being mindful that you're listening to your body, listening to what feels right for you. Now from your goddess, bring your right heel away from the mat, coming up onto the right toe here for a moment. And release. Come onto the other side, bring your heel away. And release. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, lifting the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, float back down. Bring the right heel away. And release. Bring the left heel away. And release. Inhale, float the arms up, lengthen through the legs. Make some space through the spine. Exhale, float back down. Bring your hands down to the hips. Start to bring both heels away in your goddess. You do not have to come to this place. If you are more than happy working in your traditional goddess, then please do. Feeling the shakes and the wobbles here. Well done. Keep that neutral pelvis, space across the chest. And release. Well done. Give your legs a little shake out. Beautiful. And then come to meet me back in your warrior two. So with the left leg at the front and the right leg coming back into your warrior two here. And I'm going to sweep the hands down to frame that front left foot and step the left foot back into your plank position. Work through your version of chaturanga. So on the inhale, coming through into either an upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale, into a downward facing dog. Sending your gaze between your knees. Remembering to breathe, reconnect to the breath. You can connect to your Ujjayi breath here if that feels good. Hips coming away from the ribs. And on your next inhale, step the right foot through this time between the hands and sweep those arms up to the sky, high lunge. See how this feels first, and then option to bring this right heel away from the mat, really strong through the lower body. Keep reaching up to the sky. Notice your breath here. Find a gazing point or a drishti if that helps. And release the front heel down. Start to come into your warrior two now. So we've got this right foot at the front. Side of the left foot's roughly in line with the side of the mat. Gaze is coming forwards over the right fingertips. And reaching those fingertips away from each other. Relax through the shoulders. Pressing the feet down and away. Start to release through the right leg. And we come into our wide leg stance again with the toes pointing out. Bring your hands to the hips. Soften through the knees and come into your goddess. You can stay working here. That's absolutely fine. If you would like to have a little play, have a little bit of power, you can bring your right heel away from the mat, come up onto the toes, and release. Bring the left heel away, and release. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, lengthen through the legs. Exhale, melt back down. Bring the right heel away. Release it back down. Bring the left heel away. Release it back down. See how it feels to bring both heels away. Feel into those wobbles and shakes. Keep reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling. And release the heels down, lengthen through the legs. Sweep those arms up to the sky. And exhale, release. And from here, this time, I'm going to point the toes forwards. Pointing the toes forwards, and you could pigeon toe the feet slightly and bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your hips, make space. And start to come forwards into your Prasarita Padottanasana. See how it feels to maybe come to this halfway point. Maybe you've got a block or a prop you could pop underneath you. Maybe bringing the fingertips down. Maybe you're walking the hands between the feet so that the hands are in line with the heels. Wherever you're at, bring your weight through the balls of the feet. And start to slowly come back up. Bring those hands to the hips if they came to the ground. Gaze through the core. Come back up to neutral. And then point this right foot forwards. Meet back in your warrior two again. And then from your warrior two, sweep your arms around to frame this front right foot and step back into your plank position. Vinyasa your way through. So either on the inhale, coming into an upward facing dog or cobra, and on the exhale, come into your downward facing dog. Hips coming away from the ribs, belly button's coming in towards the spine. Notice what you notice. Option to take a releasing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. On your next inhale, step or walk your feet in towards your hands. Lift your chest and lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Well done. Now, keeping your hands at heart center, we're going to return, coming back up onto the toes. Release your hands away from each other. And we're going to take some circles with the arms now. I'm going to move here so that you can see me. So as we take these circles with the arms, just remember again, see if you can challenge yourself today to maybe have a little smile on your face, maybe feel into these wobbles and falling out, or anything that's going on, and have a bit of fun with it. So inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, staying up on your toes as much as you can. Exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, sweep them up. And this doesn't have to be exactly in time with me. This could be as fluid or as slow as you want it to be. And then from here, start to bring them forward. So start coming in the opposite direction. So a lot of engagement, not just through the legs, but through the core here as well, through the entire body. Stability is a full body affair. And last one. And release the heels down, well done. Take a little shake out, well deserved. Okay. And come back up onto your toes. This is the last time, I promise you. Bring your hands to heart center and we're going to lower down to the mat. If you're done with coming up on your toes, you can do this flat foot. And come to this halfway point. So we're almost in this Tadasana position. So it's almost like we've got this imaginary seat behind us. An option to bring the arms by the ears here or out in front of you. Bring your hands back into heart center and lower the hips down. And release your hips to the mat. Well done. And because we're having a little bit of fun today, take a little rock back here if that feels good too. So rock. You can bring your hands behind your thighs and take a couple of rocks back and forth on your mat. And then meet me back in a seated position. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out to the side, coming into our bound angle. You can take blocks underneath the thighs here if that feels good. And inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, make space across the chest. And then start to come forwards into a fold. And I'm really leading with the chest here. So this could be a really subtle movement for you today. Slowly start to walk the hands back in, coming up from the fold. Bring those knees in towards each other. And start to lower yourself down to a lying position on your mat. Release the legs, release the hands out to the side. Coming into Shavasana, taking a short Shavasana here today. So either close off your eyes or take a steady gaze out, up to the ceiling. And let the feet drop out to the side. Maybe the palms of your hands are facing the sky. And let your shoulders and your hips just melt into one another. Listen to the rise and the fall of your breath, observing any thoughts coming through your mind. And as always, if you have longer, then please stay in your Shavasana for longer if you have time to. If you're ready to start coming out of your Shavasana now, and just meet me in a comfortable seated position on your mat. Start bringing yourself back into the physical body. Maybe you take some circles with the wrists or the ankles, some wiggles through your fingers, through your toes. And if you had your eyes closed, you can begin to open them. Just remember that this was a really short and condensed practice today. So any further stretching that you would like to do, I definitely would recommend that. And for longer and more detailed and in-depth flows, please see the link below to my membership. There's also a live Zoom every Sunday where we do a juicy full class, working through lots of different asanas and looking at the different chakras and energy channels in the body. So yes, do have a look at that if you would like a little bit more. And thank you so much for flowing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.